If you ever visit Jerusalem and stand in front of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, you'll notice something strange. A plain wooden ladder leaning against a window. It might seem just like an ordinary ladder, easy to ignore, but you'd be amazed to learn this ladder hasn't been moved for almost 300 years. Why? The reason goes back hundreds of years to a conflict between different groups of Christians. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre is one of the most important places for Christians because it's believed to be where Jesus was crucified and rose from the dead. Because it's so special, different Christian groups wanted control of it, and they often fought bitterly. Starting in the 1500s, Catholics, Greek Orthodox, and Armenians argued and sometimes even physically fought over who should manage the church. They used fake documents, argued with kings and emperors, and occasionally got into fight right inside the church. Things became so intense that in 1757, the ruler of Jerusalem, Ottoman Sultan Mustafa III, stepped in. He created the status quo, a rule that nothing inside the church could ever be changed unless all the groups agreed. That's how the ladder got stuck. It was there when the Sultan made the rule, and so it had to stay exactly where it was. The only way to move the ladder is if all 6 groups agree. But they're too busy arguing over more important places inside the church, like who controls the chapel above Jesus' tomb, or who manages the area around the crucifixion site. Nobody is completely sure why the ladder was put there in the first place. Some people think Armenian monks use it to secretly bring in food and water without paying taxes. Others say the monks used the ladder to grow small plants and to get fresh air after being stuck inside for months. But its original reason doesn't matter anymore. Because it was there the day of the decree was made, it has to stay there. Now, even moving the ladder a tiny bit requires all the groups to agree, which almost never happens. In 1997, a Protestant tourist by the name of Andy decided to take matters into his own hands. He sneaked into the church, climbed up to the window and pulled the ladder inside, intending to make a statement about how absurd the ongoing disputes were. His actions sparked immediate outrage among church leaders, who feared that even this small change could upset the fragile balance of power. Panic spread among the religious communities, and after weeks of debate, the ladder was quietly returned to its original place to avoid further conflict. In 2009, another unexpected incident reignited tensions. Someone mysteriously moved the ladder to the left window instead of the right, where it had been for centuries. At first, no one claimed responsibility, leading to whispers of an internal dispute or even an outsider's prank. When church authority noticed the change, it set off a series of heated debates among the denominations, each wary of what even a slight shift in positions could imply. After days of deliberation, the ladder was carefully restored to its original spot, ensuring that the fragile balance of the status quo remained intact. Today, this simple ladder symbolizes both stubbornness and peace. It reminds everyone of how easy it is to start a conflict and how important it is to keep the compromise. As Pope Paul VI once said during his pilgrimage to the Holy Land in 1964, the ladder is a visible symbol of Christian division. His visit was meant to promote unity among Christians, yet the ladder remained as a stark reminder of the unresolved tensions. Despite its small size, it represents centuries of conflicts and fragile truces. But it also quietly stands guard, reminding everyone to stay peaceful despite their differences. So if you ever visit the church and see that wooden ladder, remember that even simple things can have amazing stories behind them, and don't ever think about moving it, not even for a bit.